things you should know before defining the relationship, and what kind of relationship are they looking for, slash, what does defining the relationship mean to them? What are they looking for in a long-term partner? What are their major deal breakers? Things like exclusivity, timeline around defining the relationship, things like that. Just the overarching what they're looking for and what they want is super, super important. Another one is how do they handle conflict? Important things to notice when you have that first conflict or that first obstacle, or sort of like how your communication approaches mesh together, how well they listen to you, and most important, how you feel afterward. How do you feel after you guys overcame that obstacle, or how do you feel after that little argument you had or conflict is super, super important. Do you feel relieved and do you feel happy with the way that things worked out, or do you feel like super anxious, like, oh no, we fought and now we're gonna break up or things are gonna end? Because I think that, or do you feel still angry at them, or do you feel you weren't listened to? Things like that are like important to pay attention to. Another one is what are their values? So again, it sounds like she shared hers and he kind of said his align, but super, super, super important to know their values and to know that they align. Don't have to be identical, and it's very, very different, like I've said on here 1,000 times. Values are very different from your interests and your hobbies, so you don't have to have the exact same interests, the exact same passion, but studies show that couples who have similar values do have more stable, long-term, successful relationships. Another one that I think you should know, which kind of ties in with what they're looking for the relationship, but just in general, what are their life goals? What important milestones do they have coming up? What does success look like to them? Is there anything they want to achieve personally before truly settling down? That's a big one. And I think you should definitely have that conversation before you define the relationship. You should definitely have a good idea of what their day to day is like. How often do they like to go out? Do they like to cook all their meals at home, or do they like to go out to dinner? Do they like to order food? What time do they usually wake up? What time do they usually go to bed? Do they work out? Like, what workouts do they like? What is their typical day when they have like nothing on their calendar? What is their typical work day? Like, all of these things, very, very important, and not necessarily like, yeah, they can be conversation starters that you can talk about on like date one, but it's also something that you kind of, like, unfold and peel back over time, and I think 4 dates I or 4 months in, enough time has passed that you should have a pretty good idea of that. And another one that might be controversial is, what is their relationship history? So, you don't need to know, like, the entire story of every single person they've dated since they were 13 years old, but I think that you should know what was the most significant relationship they had, what was the longest relationship they had, when was the last relationship they had, why did the last relationship end, what have they learned from their past relationships. I have also a whole post on questions to ask about the past early on that could really help with this.